I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a man. Do you understand? Half of my life is unplanned. Most of the
And
time,
welcome
I
to
don't know
this
what's next
episode
until I
of
get.
Husband, Father, Man. I am your host, Kerry Braggs, and I hope you are having yourself a great day. So, if this is your first time tuning in to Husband, Father, Man, welcome to the family. Here at Husband, Father, Man, we discuss things concerning marriage, parenting, and manhood and womanhood. So hopefully we can give you a little information or advice that may help you in one of those areas of all of those or all of those areas. So um, just feel free to tune in anytime to get some helpful tips and advice. And hopefully it can help you get to the next level or turn the corner in one of those areas. So I just encourage you to tune in and tell others about it. So I'm excited today because I haven't made any videos in some months now, and I'm thoroughly ashamed of myself because the busyness of life caught up with me, and before I know it, I was like, oh, I haven't made a video in a while, and so I just want to let everybody know I am ashamed of myself, but I am back in the saddle, and I will be going forth. So. This is the first video in a while, and I'm going in a different direction with this one because I'm going to be sharing the classes that I normally offer when premarital counseling because I am a ordained licensed minister. And so these classes came about when I started marrying people. And my wife and I, we had saw some of the things we had gone through earlier in marriage that we felt we need to kind of give this information to others to help them look out for these dangers in the road, so to speak, and also to come together on one accord and better themselves in these areas because we see these things in other people's relationships, or we've seen these things in our relationships, and they had to be put into perspective for us to continue to be successful. Because this year we are about to celebrate our 20-year anniversary. So, yay! Woo! Party! Yes, we are. Thank you. Thank you. You know, uh, it wasn't an easy task, but yet here we are by the grace of God. And so um, this video here is to kind of tell you about what the classes are going to be about, but also to kind of help you prepare yourself for them. Because normally how it goes, these are 4 session classes. And so normally we sit down with a couple once a week and we discuss each topic and also mediate if necessary, because sometimes you can be having a difference of opinion within your relationship, and you might not be so quick to hear your spouse because there's history there. And it's one of those things like, well, how you gonna bring this up when you did that? And so we can be those mediators, and we kind of sit there and we listen to things going on. We're not taking sides, but we're helping you to see uh, your spouse's point or your fiance's point to say, hey, remember, we're trying to be together on this. So pride and stubbornness and all those things must go out the window if you want to achieve one accord within marriage. And so that's the I guess more of the benefit when you actually sit down with us face to face or over a Zoom call. But I know everybody is not at that point right now because they kind of look at it like, oh, I ain't finna have no strangers all up in the Kool-Aid and all in my business. And trust me, I understand that. But we are transparent with sharing things about ourselves and things that have gone on within our marriage. And so we're not trying to get in nobody's business. We're not trying to put your business in the street. Whatever we discuss, that's between us and God. And that's how we operate. But for those who aren't there yet, I can respect that. And so I decided to put the classes together on video where you and your spouse could sit down and kind of discuss these things to see where you are in these areas. And if you can't come together on one accord to agree where you are, then that's when you might need to sit down face to face with someone with premarital counseling. But either way, I'm just trying to just be able to help as best I can because, okay, if you can't, if you aren't ready to sit down with someone, you should be willing to sit down with your spouse and look at these videos. And so the first video is about communication and compromise. The second video is going to deal with your finances and how you all operate and how you're going to get on one accord with your finances. The third one deals with your family and your in-laws and friends and things like that. We just kind of touch on how that should look because contrary to popular belief, there is a certain order that things should go. Now, you may go about it in different ways to achieve that goal, but at the end of the day, there is a certain way things should go in an order that things have to be put in. And since you all are coming into marriage, then you have to think about that. The things you do are affecting someone else's life. So you shouldn't, be so stubborn or so set in your ways about how you do things because you feel the same way about them. That the decisions they are making is going to affect your life as well. And so coming together on one accord should mean that you have the mindset and heart set that uh, we want this to be a beautiful experience because the vows say this is going to be until death do us part. And so, therefore, we want to make sure that we have a long, beautiful marriage and life together and that we build this together. And so, number four is um, how you walk spiritually, or if you're even going to be a spiritual household and things like that. Because I have married couples who are not professing Christians, but there's still an order to how things should go as far as them coming together on one accord with their duties and responsibilities as husbands and wives and things like that. And so, what I will do is, as I said, this video is to prepare you. And so, what I will do is, with every video, as you are preparing for the next week, I will give you a little bit of information about what you should be focused on and thinking about coming into it. And so, the first video is going to be communication and compromise. And so after you watch this video, I would like you and your fiance, and I think now don't they have a different name for your the man or the woman? I think I saw something that it's different. Everybody is not a fiance, and so I don't want people to be like, "Oh, he's just talking about the man," or "He's just talking about the woman." So, excuse me for not being too cultured, but your future spouse. Okay, boom. I like that. I like that. I was under pressure, but I came up with it. So, your future spouse. So, I want you all to watch this video and sit down and decide, have a conversation on a scale of 1 to 10. And as we know, 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, where you rate yourself when it comes to you with communication and you with compromising with your future spouse. So write down where you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10, and also write down where you feel your future spouse is. Because once you all sit down, you write these things down, and I would say, don't share with each other. Don't share with each other, but have it ready for when you watch the video and we kind of discuss more in depth on what that looks like, and if you're not where you need to be, how to get there. So then after you watch the video, then you share with each other. And sometimes when you have those conversations, it turns into, well, I thought we were better than this, or I thought I was further along. But you can see it turns out sometimes your future spouse doesn't look at it that way, but it gives you food for thought and allows you to discuss it and say, well, why do you think I'm a 3, but you think you're a 7? So what's going on with that? But, it allows you to sit down and talk about it and say, why do you feel that? And then discuss some of the things that you all feel can get you all to a even number or a better number, so to speak. So, as I said, the first video is going to be communication and compromise. I want you all to just think about it and write down what you think your number is when it comes to communication and what you think your future spouse's number is when it comes to communication and compromise. So both of them. So you're going to be writing down one number for communication, and then, or should I say, the two numbers for communication and the two numbers for compromise. And so also, I want you to write down why you feel that way. To say, hey, I feel my number is this because when it comes to communication, blah, blah, blah. I feel their number is this because when it comes to compromise, blah, blah, blah. So it's very simple, but it's being intentional. It makes you think about it, and it gives you something to come together on, because when the scripture talks about us coming together on one accord, that means that we are on the same page on everything. We work together to get from point A to point B. So we're not against each other. I know it seems that way a lot of time in relationships when we're going at it, but we're not against each other. This is a team effort. And so I want you to look at it that way. So once again, after you watch this video, you write your numbers and why. And then you don't share them, you don't discuss them with one another, and just have them ready for when you sit down for the next video. And after you go through it, then that'll create space for a conversation on how to get to a better place, or you all might be right on point with it and everything. But it's all about bringing you all together to show, hey, I'm intentional about going into this marriage and living up to my vows. I want to have a beautiful life with you, and I want you to have a beautiful life with me. It is not a one-way street. It cannot be a one-way street. And so I want your hearts and minds open. I want you to be prepared to receive and be prepared to come together on one accord and take your relationship to the next level. So that's all I have for this video here. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, continue to tune in and tell your family and friends about it as well. So that's all I have for today. And I am out. Husband, father, man. I will see you later.
Phone call or maybe a text saying, could you pick the kids up from soccer? Grab some cake mix and you know I only use Betty Crocker.